Surya means sun. As we were just now talking, sun is a source of all energy. We're here today because of the sun. The planet and the moon has a role to play, but the most important thing is the sun. If sun's rays do not fall upon this planet, there is no possibility of life. It's finished. So, this sun is not just about light. Every moment your life is kept up because of the sun. The influence of the planet and the moon is definitely there, but the volume of influence of the sun upon life is too big. So one thing that we decided to do was to be in tune with him. If you're in tune with him, the cycles of the sun, then physical health, well-being, vitality, energy, these things you don't have to bother, they're just there with you. The sun's cycles happen in once in 12.25 to 12.5 years. The moon's cycle happens in 28 days. Our female body is aligned towards the moon. It is because of that we are born, it is because of that we are here. That is true on one level. But whether you're a man or a woman, the contribution of the sun and the influence of the sun upon your physical system is phenomenal. Without it, nobody can… The very warmth in our body, which is a sign of life, is only because of the sun. So how to get in tune with him so that your cycles will run in 12-year cycles, not less. If your cycles run, if your physiological cycles run in sync with the sun's cycles, your physical health will be great, your mental balance will be perfect, and your life will happen effortlessly. This is the basis of all spiritual sadhana, which is physical in nature, so that you get in sync with the cycles of the nature. Your existence here is not free from the cycles of what's happening in natural conditions. Surya Kriya means doing the sun within you. Because there is a sun within you, otherwise you wouldn't be able to maintain this temperature, isn't it? If you cannot maintain your body temperature, you're dead. You can make this body either the key to the existence, or you can make this body a roadblock in your life. If you leave this body to its compulsive ways, it will live a simple life, eating, sleeping, reproducing. This itself is a great thing for a lot of people, because nothing else has been explored. Life happens in many dimensions, all the time happening, but not in the experience of most people, unfortunately. That's how life is, right? Only one dimension is being perceived, it seems quite okay. Only when you see the other, you realize what's being missed, isn't it? Surya Kriya is a powerful system in that direction, particularly for one's physiological and psychological balance. Why is this balance so important? Balance is very important. Suppose you're riding a bicycle. Is anybody still riding a bicycle? Okay. You're riding a bicycle. If you don't have proper balance, this itself is the greatest thing in the world that you're doing. But once your balance is very good, you can look around, you can text, you can blow a kiss, you can do whatever you want. You can leave your hands, you can adventure into life because you have balance. If you did not have balance, that is the only thing you will do. Riding a bicycle itself is a great thing. Right now life has become like this for most people. Earning a living itself is a great thing. Remaining sane itself, maintaining your sanity itself is a great thing. Just being peaceful itself is a great thing. No question of adventure in life. But if you are peaceful and joyful, and it is very balanced, no matter what happens, this is how you will be, you would adventure into many things, isn't it? You would try many things, you would try to explore all aspects of life. Every door that is possible you would like to open and see what is there. But if this itself is a great feat, you will not bother to do anything. If I don't get into trouble, that's enough. Lot of people have arrived at this level of retirement. You should not retire when you're dead, when you're alive. You retire when you're dead. You may change your activity from going to office to something else. But how can you retire when you're alive? You retired means you died, isn't it? You may leave your office and do something else, that's okay.
So the title of this conversation, the subtitle of Conversation with a Mystic.
That's only for you. I'm not conversing with a mystic, so I'm at ease.
That's my job. That's my job. Got it. I know, and I have many questions, you know. Sadhguru said, I've never seen someone with so many questions. He said, no answers, only questions. I think the subtext, which I actually am talking about because I liked it, is an experiential, for today, an experiential symposium on optimal health and well-being. And I think there's a tremendous amount for us to talk about even in that phrase. One is the role of experience. And I will say that, you know, my office being responsible for cultural transformation, I've become obsessed with what is culture, and the definition that I use, because it guides our strategies, is behavior. This definition was given to me by Admiral Grossenbacher. Is behavior, either collective or individual behavior, based in experience and incentives. Meaning that if we're going to transform or shift what the medical model is today and what healthcare is today, we can't start with just the data. If people do not have an inner experience, not much will change. Can you say some about what you think the role of experience is in today and in healthcare?
So you need to understand this. Largely for most human beings, experience is being kind of created and regulated by the way they think and feel. But what you think and what you feel need not necessarily have anything to do with reality as such. There is something called as a psychological reality and there is an existential reality. By controlling or handling the psychological reality well, a lot of people can become healthy, a lot, because for a lot of them that is the cause of their ailment. And it can also fix other things to some extent. So, like right now, Mitch was talking about, you know, somebody prays and somebody creates a certain attitude around them of love and care and compassion. This is all psychological structure. You create a psychological structure with which you become open to certain dimensions of life. It becomes a possibility to transact in a certain way with least amount of friction and creates well-being. But there's an existential dimension to this. Existentially, what are you made of? What is the world made of, if you look at it? This is the most fundamental aspect of yoga. This is called as Bhuta Shuddhi. This means elemental, cleansing of the elemental nature. The whole universe is a manifestation of 5 elements. So is this body. Out of these 5, there are only 4 that you can really handle. Another one you just experience, it's the ambience for the other 4. So, the earth, water, fire, air and the space. So you only have to handle really 4. With 4 ingredients, so much magic and mischief is happening in the universe. If there were 4 million, we would be not able to handle it. 4 for sure we can handle, isn't it?
Four ingredients, if they're functioning the way you want them, then everything about you will be great. Out of these four, 72% of your water, your body is actually water, so is the planet. The same composition of the planet you have in your body. About 12% is earth, about 6% is air, 4% is fire, the remaining is space. This is how it is looked at. If you master these four, even if you have a bit of control over these four, you will see miraculously you will generate health within the system. If you fail on this, then the next level of handling this is, nature has evolved certain things in the form of herbs and many things which are helpful to us, so we can learn to use them. If you fail in that, then you can create a psychological structure which will create health for you. If you fail in that, then you go for the chemical treatment. If you fail in that, then you go for a surgery.
That's the escalation.
Direct intervention of cutting something, putting something, if nothing else you're capable of doing. But now you're talking about a large-scale thing across the populations. We always think anything subtle cannot be done large-scale. I disagree with that, this is my opinion. Because it is just that we have not done enough work towards that and we assume that it's not possible. To create a certain sensitivity towards something and approach it in a subtle manner is possible, but it's only possible if it goes into every home, every parent, every man and woman in the world or in the country starts working towards it. When you want such a big goal to be achieved, it's not going to happen overnight. We must be willing to be committed for a whole generation or two, then something will happen, something wonderful will happen. But right now, we are in today's world, everything has to happen by today evening. If it doesn't happen, tomorrow we dump it and have a new project going. So in that context, it will not happen. In that context, it's better we work towards a plastic heart and a plastic liver and a plastic kidney where we can start replacing them every 5 years and somehow function. See, health does not mean that just the medical parameters are okay. Health means you must feel a certain sense of wholeness. The word health itself comes from that word whole. A certain sense of wholeness, when you wake up in the morning, you are more alive than you are when you went to bed. You feel 10 years younger than the time when you went to bed. If you feel like that, that means you're healthy. It is just that all the tests are showing you're normal, that is still not normal. Because you have no experience of health. So when you say experience, ultimately, we have come here only to experience life, isn't it? So we know that experience is the most important aspect of life. Now we're talking about the word experience in two different ways. One is our experience of life itself, how profound and how wonderful it is, or how nasty and how unpleasant it is. So the pleasantness that we generate in the body, we call this as health. Right now, that is the object of discussion, I don't want to go further, but the same pleasantness, if it hits a higher pitch, we call it pleasure. But if your mind becomes pleasant, you would call it peacefulness. If it becomes very pleasant, you would call it joyfulness. If your emotions become pleasant, you would call it love or affection. If it becomes very pleasant, you would call it compassion. If your very life energy, if you make it pleasant, we call it bliss. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it ecstasy. This is what a human being is seeking all the time. He wants pleasantness inside. Well, if your surroundings become pleasant, we call it success. This is what every human being is looking for all the time. There is a whole science as to how to create the inner pleasantness. External pleasantness needs cooperation from many people. It's not just yours, the other stakeholders who may want to make it nasty for you It needs many people's cooperation, but inner pleasantness is 100% yours. But why have we not strived for it? We have not strived for it because generally we have spread this message, it is not possible unless everything in the universe is fixed. When I first came to United States, one word I was hearing everywhere is stress management. I could not understand this because in my mind, we manage things which are precious to us. our family, our wealth, our business and whatever else which is valuable to us. Why would anybody want to manage stress? It's something I couldn't get for some time. It is just because we've spread the idea that stress is a part of your life. Stress is not a part of your life. Stress is not because of your job. Stress is simply because you do not know how to manage your own system.
If you stayed until now, if you paused your day to listen, that already sets you apart from most. Like the video, comment where you're watching from, and check the links in the description. You'll definitely find more content that continues this conversation with you. Thanks, big hug, and see you in the next video.